I'm Nick.
And we are NV Board Gaming, and today we're looking at Otys. This is a 2 to 4 player game. It's designed by Cloud Lucchini and published by Libellude and Pearl Games. Nick is going to give an overview of how you play, and then we're going to give our review.
Hey everyone, welcome to the table for a 2-player game of Otys. Except I'm just going to focus on 1-player board and the market board over here. Before I start, I'm actually going to shuffle these up. These little tokens over here, command tokens. Should have did that to prep the game, but I did not, so I'm going to do it right now. These will come out randomly every game, so it'll change the game up a little bit. So bear with me. On my turn, I'm going to go ahead and activate one of my divers, and it'll trigger off one of these depending on the level of diver. So we have 5 levels here in the water, and these are above surface, so I cannot activate these 3. But if I want to activate, let's say, a diver on level 3, I will get a green token. So that one's pretty easy to explain. This one's easy to explain. This one is a black cube, a white cube, and there is a blue cube up here. Except I can't activate the white and the blue yet because they're not in the water yet. But let's say I activate the tier 3. That will give me a green cube where I activated it. So now I have a blue and a green. What am I trying to do by doing that? Well, I'm looking out here. There's some little objectives right here. That's saying, these are more generic ones where it's saying 1 of different cube colors, 2 of one, 2 of another, and 1 of another. These are the rewards you'll get. This is a point, this is like for victory points right here. In this game, you're gonna go ahead and play until somebody hits 18 victory points. So in this case, I'm going for 1 of each because I have 1 of each down here, and this white is gonna drop down eventually. But just know that we're playing to 18 points over here, tracked over here. And when I activate this, not only did I get the green, but I get whatever is tracked right here. In this case, unlocked. Because when I locked somebody, that means I used their token. It comes down here, and I cannot use the number 3 again, and this cycles up. So it goes all the way to the top, everything gets pushed down. But if I were to trigger off this ability, I could unlock one that is down here. So whatever numbers are down here later in the game, they come back up. Just one of them. You get to pick which one. So that's what the unlock would do. This is a symbol for currency over here. You got some credits right there. We start the game with 3 of those and 1 battery. With the currency in this game, you can buy different things on your cards right here. So here, if I were to activate a 2 on my turn, I would not only get an extra battery, I would also trigger off this ability, which costs me 1 credit to do so. And I have a choice to either draw 4 of these objectives right here, these contracts, and pick one that I want from my hand. Just be my private one, so it's not a public one like these are, because my opponent can take these as well. But I'll have one for my own. Or I can spend $1 to do whatever level 2 my opponent has over here. They're off the board. Their level 2 is the blue. So I really wanted a blue there. I could pay $1 and trigger off that to put a blue here. Most of the time, I'll probably pick that, draw some contracts, and pick one. And you're just going to keep doing these objectives, so I'll go through all of them. Right here, I would have to spend 2 coins, and I would go ahead and buy one of these tiles right here. When I do that, I would take the one, let's say I take the battery. I get this right away, and then based on where I put it, based on this spot where I activated that diver, I would flip this after I take the battery, and then every time I fulfill a contract on this row, I get an additional victory point. So these are all different in the front, and they'll be different in the back. Some of them have credits even. Let's see. This worker right here would upgrade your mechanic or your hacker. If you upgrade your mechanic, it influences how powerful your batteries are. Because typically, batteries would prevent you from, remember when I said these people resurface, they come back up? I could spend a battery to keep this diver where they're at and give them more oxygen. Or I could just spend a battery to influence where they're at. So I can do a swap. I can say, you know what, let's move this up and this down for 1 battery. Now, this mechanic, if I were to upgrade him with this engineer here, or the scientist, then they would be at a level 2. So they can make a swap of a 2 value instead of just adjacent. And so on. You got a 3 and a 4 here. So your batteries can become really powerful if you were to upgrade this person. So this right here lets you spend $1 to upgrade the mechanic or spend $1 to upgrade the hacker. What the hacker does is what you might expect. It slides to the left, and then when you use all these down here, you exhaust all these tokens. If you were to do all these in an action, keep going in every round and spend all these, eventually, depending on where your hacker is, if he was right here, that would cause it to refresh, and I wouldn't have to worry about, oh, I want to use a 2 again, because I might want to keep using this 3 to fill up things, And we also have an X here that acts as a wild, so keep that in mind. So you're just activating different people. Let's see what else out here is unique. Here is one for the store, so you can buy or sell at the store right here, and you'll see this board. Try to give you a little better look at it. Here you can buy. For 3 credits, I can buy this blue one, or for 2, I can buy this black one, or I could sell. So if I had a green that I didn't need, if I use this person, I can go ahead and sell to the market 1 green cube for 3 credits or 1 victory point. So it's an option of buying or selling to the store over here. And that pretty much covers it. You can also upgrade individuals. So if you do an upgrade right here, let's see, here's one that does an upgrade. You can see that V symbol. That means an upgrade. I can spend 2 coins to upgrade anyone and get a victory point for doing so. So if I were to upgrade one, they just flip. So if I picked to flip this blue one, I spent 2 credits. I picked to upgrade. I get a victory point. And now this blue player gives me an extra X ability instead of just the blue. And they all have little different ones. So this one will give you a free unlock, and so forth. Some of them would eliminate a payment that you might have. And yeah, so you're just gonna go ahead and keep playing this until somebody hits 18, and that will trigger endgame. Most victory points is gonna win. Hey everyone, welcome back for our review of the game Otys. This one is quite different. The boards that we have, our player boards, are unique. That's one of the things I like about it. I think the recessed boards are really cool. You can slide your divers up and down. The mechanism is cool where the divers rotate to the top. You can spend a battery if you want to keep them at where they're at. I think that works out pretty well. The actions are decent. One thing I wish they had, maybe I can purchase different divers with different abilities or something like that, not just upgrade the divers in every single one. I think that hurts replay value, is that you're going to have the same divers every time. If you want to get anything different, you have to upgrade the same divers every time. You also have the hacker and the mechanic, or the engineer. I think it's mechanic, but you can upgrade them, and I think that's okay. I don't really feel the need to upgrade them too much. Maybe the hacker once or twice. The engineer, I'm okay. I have ways of getting batteries. I can just use it one here and there and make do with that. So, and I don't like how they just kind of hang off the board. They're not part of the board. They can just, so if you move your board or you move one of those characters, it gets all messed up, and it just doesn't look as good as the rest of the board, because the board looks cool. It has that little shark sign at the top.
Yeah, I love the shark.
Yeah, the board looks really nice. It kind of reminds me of Wasteland Express, and I guess it is a little bit of that theme, in that it's kind of a dystopian future, and things underwater here, and the other one is like it's just post-apocalyptic. So for me, it's a quick game. It says 60 minutes here on the box. I'm looking at it. I think it plays under that. Once you're used to it, I think it plays under 60 minutes, because you just race to 18 points. Your moves aren't that complex. Again, replay value, I do ding it for that. I don't think it has that great replay value. The redeeming quality there is that at least the tiles do flip over on the 1 through 5. They do flip, and they'll be in different orders. But still, it's just the same stuff over and over again. So really, it's not a game I'm going to come back to very often. I'm going to score it as I am reviewing it as a mediocre game, a 7.5. Try it if it's on sale, but you can do without it. So I like it. It's pretty good. What about you, Vic?
I like like the recessed boards. I like the play of the game and the race component. I like that you are trying to get a set number of points against your opponent, and I like that there is a diver that lets you get contracts like privately.
Yes.
That you can really luck out. Sometimes you don't luck out and you don't really have that stuff. I like the thought of having to put the cubes on specific levels and how certain levels don't accommodate more than 3 cubes. So you have to think about that and move your divers and go, oh geez, I'm never going to get a blue at the bottom here unless I spend batteries and start moving things around, or use some of those sponsor abilities where the sponsor is letting you move 2 tiles at the bottom. Things like that I think are interesting. It is a bit of a bummer to be starving for credits all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it would be too easy if the amount of batteries I accrued the other game was senseless.
Yeah.
So I guess that kind of makes sense that you don't get too many credits, or else you could just have your way with the whole game. I like the upgrade of the divers. I agree with Nick that it should perhaps have more divers that you can add. I'm scoring the game though an 8.4. I enjoy this game a lot. It was a really close game between Nick and I, and the last time we played it. And I always enjoy if it's close. He kind of blows me out of the water sometimes when we play games. He destroys me. So some games, if I have the opportunity to keep the pace, I enjoy that. And I like the sliding of the people picking them up, moving them to the top. I don't know, I like that. I think it's fun, and I think it's unique. I don't know if you know any other games that are like that, where you're moving things around in that way, except for Chocolate Factory, where you're sliding a piece of chocolate off the conveyor belt. Kind of remind me of that, and I'm very fond of that game. But yeah, Otys, to me, I recommend getting it. I like it. I enjoy it every time we play it, and I like how quick it is. I like that you're not in for a long commitment, because some games, 2 hours, 3 hours, maybe you don't want to play a game that long.
Yeah. Yep. So you like it quite a bit. I'm actually surprised. 8.4. I didn't know you liked it that much. That's good.
Yeah. Well, we hadn't played it in a while, so I had a newfound enjoyment of the game. We kind of suggested at random. Sometimes, because we have so many games, it's hard for us to pick what game we're going to play. So we'll roll a dice and actually attribute each value to a different game that we suggest 3 each. And then that's our little tip. If you can't figure out what game you want to play, that's a good way to do it. And then we go with it. So we went with Otys because it's been a while since we played. It actually had some dust on the box.
Yeah.
Been some time.
It happens. That goes to what I was saying about replayability. I don't know. It's not a game I'm going to pick usually. It'll come out maybe once every couple of years because it's.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Well, we had fun with it, and if you enjoy this game, let us know. And like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to our channel if you have not already. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.